It was a chilly evening when Lisa decided to take a walk through the forest trail behind her grandmother's cottage. She had come to the countryside to escape the noise of the city, hoping a few days of peace would clear her mind. Her German shepherd, Max, walked closely beside her, sniffing the leaves and wagging his tail. As the sun dipped below the trees, the forest grew quieter, almost too quiet. They had gone farther than usual today, reaching a part of the woods she had never explored. Just as she was about to turn back, she heard something strange. Thump, 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 the sound of a shovel hitting the earth. Curious and uneasy, Lisa crouched behind a thick bush and peeked through the leaves. Her heart skipped a beat. A man in a dirty coat stood in a clearing, furiously digging a hole in the ground. A large sack lay next to him, its shape disturbingly human. The man's hair was wild, and his face was pale and smeared with dirt. He kept mumbling to himself. She left me. She lied. Now she sleeps forever. Lisa gasped, covering her mouth. The man wasn't burying trash. He was digging a grave. Max growled softly beside her, sensing danger. Suddenly the man stopped. He looked around like a wolf sniffing the air. Then his head turned right toward her. You saw her! He shrieked, dropping the shovel. His eyes were wide, mad, and full of rage. He started running straight toward her, screaming like a demon. Lisa jumped to her feet and ran. Run, Max! She shouted, her breath ragged as twigs scratched her arms. But the man was fast, too fast. Behind her, she heard him crashing through the trees, screaming her name, though she had never told him. You weren't supposed to see. You ruined it. Her legs burned, lungs screamed, and her vision blurred with panic. She could hear him getting closer. She tripped and fell, hitting the ground hard. The man lunged toward her. But before he could reach her, Max leapt between them, barking furiously, his teeth bared. The man stumbled back in shock. Max lunged again, biting his arm. The man screamed in pain, trying to shake him off. Max, come! Lisa cried, scrambling to her feet. Max released the man and turned to run with her. Together they dashed through the forest as the man screamed behind them, his voice fading into the trees. By the time they reached the edge of the forest, Lisa could see lights from her grandmother's cottage. She burst through the door, locking it behind her. Her grandmother, alarmed, rushed to her side. What happened, child? There's a man in the woods. He buried someone. He tried to kill me. Lisa gasped. The police arrived quickly after the call. They followed the trail Lisa had described and found the freshly dug grave. Inside the sack was the body of a woman, his ex-girlfriend who had been reported missing a week ago. The man was caught later that night wandering the road barefoot and bleeding. He kept muttering Lisa's name and how she had interrupted the ceremony. He was a known psychotic, recently released from a mental facility, but no one knew he had gone this far. 2 weeks later, Lisa sat on the porch with Max, watching the wind rustle the trees. She still had nightmares, waking up to the sound of shovels in her dreams. But every time she looked at Max, she felt safe. The police officer had told her, if that dog hadn't been there, you wouldn't be sitting here. Max wagged his tail, resting his head on her lap. Lisa stroked his fur gently. Somewhere deep in the woods, the leaves still covered the scarred earth where the grave had been dug. The forest was quiet again, but Lisa knew she'd never walk that far again, because sometimes evil isn't a ghost or a shadow. Sometimes it's a man with a shovel and a broken heart, and sometimes the only thing standing between life and death is a loyal dog who refuses to back down.